Hi, it's Steve from Sidemounting.com. In this video, we're going to help a lot of Drysuit users. We're going to be focusing on the Santi Smart Seals and the Drysuit glove options they have. What we have found is that many experienced Drysuit divers are using this type of, dishwasher glove or Marigold glove, which is put over a glove liner, usually merino wool. Now, you do get very good dexterity with this thin Marigold glove. However, it does become a problem when you want to dive in very cold water and you're going to need thicker undergloves or even doubling up on undergloves. Now, the problem this creates is that the Marigold glove just fits too tightly, even in the largest size. And you might be thinking like me, great, I'll just get the Santi heated glove and that should fit underneath. But unfortunately, it does not. If you can afford them, then the Santi heated gloves are a great option. The only problem is they just don't fit underneath the Marigold glove. So it seems that the only option is, if you look on the Santi website, to use their grey dry gloves. And these, as you will see, are just really thick. And combine that with an already thicker heated glove, the two make dexterity a real problem, in my opinion, for cold water divers. Now, there is a better option. I'm going to share that with you. The glove on my right hand has my merino wool liner and Marigold glove. I'm now going to show you the Santi heated glove on the left side, and I'm putting on the Marigold. You can see it's very tight to get on, and my fingers just do not go in the fingers. And I'm using the actual biggest size you can get, and clearly they're just not going to work. So you inevitably opt to use the thinner glove and keep the dexterity, but have cold hands, or you go for the heated glove and then you put on the actual grey dry glove from Santi, and in my opinion, greatly sacrifice the dexterity. There will be divers watching this who want a thick, robust outer glove that they feel they're not going to puncture easily and have issues with. However, if you're like me and you really want the dexterity and you're very careful about where you put your hands when you're underwater, then we definitely need a thinner option. You can see here, this is Vas. He's showing you how to correctly hold the bolt snap and clip it up. And he's using the heated gloves with the grey thick glove. So it can absolutely be done. It's just that we're talking from experience here. There is not a lot of dexterity. So you have to be very efficient with your clipping techniques. And even having said that, I'd always prefer to make things easier whenever possible. Here you have a direct comparison. My left hand has the Santi grey dry glove and right hand has the Marigold. Underneath I have a thin merino wool liner. You can see though that there is quite a visual difference between these two gloves, and I can tell you there is a lot of dexterity difference. I definitely prefer the thinner option. And here it is. It's a outer dry glove made by a company called Showa. I believe they make hundreds of different types of gloves suitable for all different industries dealing with chemicals, building works, you name it. Whilst traveling back through Europe, I was visiting Amsterdam and I was able to get in touch with one of their large distributors there, and through Lex at Four Divers, we managed to get a pair of Santi gloves sent out to him. Anyway, long story short, He checked it in terms of size and fit with the different glove models he had, because we couldn't visit the factory. They weren't letting people come in, and he sent some test models for us to try out. The exact details and model of the glove, I will try and put that in the comments for you, and it should be available through Lex at 4Divers, as I believe he was going to buy quite a few of these. The problem is that to deal with Showa, you need to buy hundreds of gloves. They don't really just sell one product here and there. That is the downside. The good news is that out of about 8 different gloves we were sent, we found that 2 of them worked extremely well and were the closest thing you can get to the Marigold glove. But the big difference is they're going to fit over the Santi heated glove, or if you have non-heated gloves but really thick undergloves, they should easily fit over this and still give back the much needed dexterity. So for me, not having cold hands is brilliant. And what I always say is that cold water diving isn't the problem. It's being cold that becomes the problem. So if you can keep things like your extremities warmer, it makes everything more enjoyable and comfortable. And of course, less distracting. So you can actually get on with doing tasks and enjoying what you went down there to do. Here we are in the cold waters of Amsterdam, and I found out straight away that this dry glove gives me all the dexterity I need. And remember, I have the Santi heated glove underneath. So the problem was not the Santi heated glove. I want to make that quite clear. I think that is a good glove with good dexterity. The problem was the outer glove people are putting onto it. You can see here I'm quite easily capable of doing all the normal things I do underwater. What I am doing here is a 360 review of an experienced Sidemount diver's equipment, which we later made changes to and got it working a little bit better. Here's a side-by-side comparison. The heated glove left hand, the right hand, the Marigold. Both offering very good dexterity. So for me, using this Showa outer and the heated glove underneath in very cold water is definitely the way to go. Here we've got Vas using the Santi grey dry glove again. And for us, they are very, very thick, and losing that critical dexterity underwater is just not something we were happy about. In terms of how long the Showa glove will last for, I think they will be absolutely fine. It's like the Marigold glove. If you get a small puncture into it, you just use some black witch and you're able to glue it back up again. And again, just be careful what you're doing with your dry gloves. And that being said, I'm going to share with you now Vas's technique for putting on your fin straps. No doubt many of you have had your dry gloves caught like you just saw here. What he does is pulls it on, and then before he releases the tension, he works his fingers back round the side. That way you don't catch the dry glove. And he's doing this with quite thick gloves, as you can see here. So you just pull the spring as normal, but before you release, work your fingers around the side and then they come out. So Santi do make some great products when it comes to heated undergarments. They have a heated vest, which I think is a great option for a lot of people, especially the ones who are going to be looking for this heated glove in the first place. The combination of those two work well together. I did find that Santi's 303 thermo valve was actually a really good option for using the heated system with. However, a downside I think they can still greatly improve is their canister and batteries. I know the batteries have recently been improved. I haven't tested those, but what I did notice is that they don't have the 90-degree elbow connection. Now this, for Sidemount divers, is something we would definitely be looking for. It gives us another mounting option on the butt of the body, as opposed to having to put it vertical inside the harness somewhere. So hopefully for Sidemount divers, Santi will offer this 90-degree elbow option. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found some of it useful. Please ask any questions in the comments, and if you have other video suggestions you would like, just get in touch and we'll do our best to keep providing video-based online training.